Have you ever walked into a room and felt like something was watching you, even though no one was there? That strange, spine-tingling feeling that you get. Stanley Kubrick managed to capture that exact sensation in The Shining. But here's the twist. It wasn't a creepy, supernatural creature doing the watching. It was the camera. The Shining is a psychological horror film, and it came out in 1980. It is full of unforgettable moments, blood flooding the hallways, creepy twins, and Jack Nicholson looking like he skipped sleep for a year. But behind the obvious horror lies something deeper. It's the way the film feels. And that feeling comes from how it was shot. With the help of an absolutely amazing invention called the Steadicam, Kubrick turned the camera into something unnatural. Something that didn't just film the characters, but quietly hunted them. Let's talk about the scene that seems easy. Little Danny riding his tricycle down the hotel hallways. Looks basic, right? This kind of camera work is really common in the movies today. We even see it in Instagram Reels. But before 1976, getting a camera to follow smoothly at floor level would have taken a miracle or a camera crew lying on a skateboard. That's when inventor Garrett Brown stepped in with his Steadicam. His demo video, 30 impossible shots, showed how this tool could make a camera float like a ghost. Before Steadicam, camera work, especially for moving shots, felt very different. It was often shaky or jerky. If the camera had to move, it was usually handheld or placed on a dolly, which could still make movements look rough or unnatural. Now, imagine the already shaky camera going on an uneven surface. You'd probably get nauseous from all that jerking. To avoid the shake, filmmakers often kept the camera still or used tracks, cranes, or tripods. This made the motion feel mechanical and very restricted. Plus, you didn't get that smooth, gliding feeling that makes you feel like you are practically living as the main character. And Kubrick didn't want all that. He wanted it to feel like something else. Something that was quietly gliding behind the characters, watching. Creepy? Absolutely. Genius? Also yes. So when he saw the 30 impossible shots, he decided he wanted just that for his film. And in true Kubrick fashion, he said, "I need this yesterday." So he got it. With the Steadicam, the camera could follow Danny, turn corners, and move through halls. You know the best part. It didn't even shake, never stumbled. It became an unseen presence in the film. Honestly, it's the most polite ghost you have ever met. It just floats around, doesn't knock stuff over, and doesn't call for you in the middle of the night. Fun fact number 1. Our brain likes rules. It craves patterns. We like things that make sense, or, specifically, spaces that make sense. Fun fact number 2. We also like breaking rules. Not sure if the brain is behind it, or just our constant want for an adrenaline rush. But either way, when things don't add up, our brains light up with curiosity and just a little bit of fear. The Shining does just that. The Overlook Hotel's a maze, and not the fun kind. Windows where there shouldn't be windows. Doors that lead to nowhere. Logic doesn't catch up right away, but the feels are there. The camera gliding through this impossible space makes you feel off balance, even though everything looks clean and calm. It's like your mind is on a treadmill that keeps speeding up. But the scene looks like nothing is moving. Most films use something called the rule of thirds. Basically, you don't put the main subject in the center. It's supposed to look more natural. Kubrick threw that rule out the window. He puts the characters in the middle, right where they are supposed to be. It makes the scene feel controlled, cold, and honestly kind of uncomfortable. It feels too perfect, and when everything seems perfect, it's the damn brain again whispering, "Something's not right," and that is the whole point. Kubrick deliberately kept the framing that way, so the audience could always feel the tension in the scene. Usually, horror films put the camera in the protagonist's shoes, so we feel their fear. The Shining flips that. The camera follows characters like a stalker. One moment, you're just watching Danny pedal around. Next thing you know, you feel like you are chasing him. It is subtle, but it changes everything. You are not with him anymore. You are behind him. And congratulations, now you have become part of the hotel. Another clever trick. At some points, you can see the world through Danny's eyes. The camera often moves at Danny's eye level, low to the ground. It doesn't sound like much, but it makes you feel small and somewhat exposed. You are not towering over the kid. You are little, just like him. And suddenly, everything feels much, much bigger and more dangerous. Apart from the maze-like hotel, Kubrick also loved mirrors. So, he put a lot of them in The Shining. Sometimes, when the camera moves around them, we catch reflections. Not of the Steadicam, of course, but other angles, other versions of the character. It's like being watched from inside the screen, as if someone, or something, knows we are watching. Then, to add to the eeriness of the situation, Kubrick uses another trick with the camera, the going in circles trick. The camera often loops back through the same spaces. It feels like we are trapped in a loop, like the hotel is repeating itself. The Overlook isn't just haunted, it's stuck in time. And now, since you have become a part of it, you are also stuck with it. Okay, so by now we have established that the Steadicam is nothing but a recording ghost. Pair this ghost-like camera with long silences and strange sounds. Sounds like the changing noise of Danny's tricycle wheels from carpet to hard wood. And suddenly, the scene becomes unbearable. It's not like you have never heard the sound before, but it's the dreadfulness of the scene that slowly creeps in on you. Nothing's happening. And that's exactly why it's scary. The camera floats, the sound drops, and you sit there thinking, please just let something jump out and get it over with. Because sometimes, it's not the monster that terrifies you. It's the waiting. Okay, now, enough with the creepiness. Let's move on to what made The Shining an absolute perfection. Sure, Steadicam and all are great, but you know what they say. It's not the gun, it's the man behind the gun. And in this case, Stanley Kubrick did his job too well. He was famous for doing 50, 60, and even 100 takes of a single shot. Why? Because he wanted exactly the right movement, the right stillness, and the right feelings. Every inch of camera motion was planned like a well-thought chess move. That's why it feels so inhuman-like the camera isn't filming life, but controlling it. Kubrick poured perfection into each scene, and it is very much evident throughout the entire film. Apart from the camera work, the film is layered with other subtle elements that contribute to its brilliance. Horror films usually rely on jump scares to build fear. The Shining builds horror from inside the characters' minds. Jack's descent into madness isn't triggered by a ghost jumping out of a closet. It's slow, creeping, and disturbingly believable. We watch a man unravel in real time, and that is far more scarier than any supernatural monster. Through this, Kubrick also plays with themes of isolation, alcoholism, and unresolved trauma. You see, how Jack's fragile ego begins to crack under the pressure of being alone and powerless. And honestly, that kind of breakdown happens in real life, too. It is so accurately portrayed that it hits the nerves that most horror films don't even try to reach. The film is loaded with open-ended symbols. The maze, the typewriter, room 237, the photograph at the end. Each seems to mean something. But what exactly? This ambiguity forces the viewers to participate, to be involved. You are not just watching The Shining, you are trying to solve it. A little spoiler here, there is no one correct answer, which is why you and I are still debating over it, even 40+ years later. So yes, The Shining is scary, but not just because of ghosts or Jack or the blood elevator. It's scary because the camera turns into something else. It glides, it watches, it traps you in a place that doesn't make sense, quietly whispering, "You are not safe here." And that, honestly, might be the most terrifying part of it all. And on this creepy note, we are gonna end the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Also, do you know about the fan theories about The Shining? Some think it's about the moon landing hoax. Others believe it's about the Holocaust. What do you think? Do they really make sense? Or are they just made-up stories by overanalyzing fans? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and share. For more such videos, subscribe to our channel, and we will catch you in the next one. Till then, keep shining.